Hey folks, Nick DiVirgilio here, and today we're talking birch. Not the tree, but the snare drums. These are the newest members of the Gretsch Full Range family, and they pack a punch. They've got the sound, the touch, and the versatility to handle whatever you throw at them. So let's check them out. Now these aren't just budget-friendly drums. They're built for pros, passionate players, and anyone chasing great tone. Super responsive under the sticks, they handle everything from the whisper quiet ghost notes to full-on backbeat mayhem. So whether you're tracking in the studio, hitting the stage, or just shedding at home, they'll do the job and do it well. So let's talk birch. This wood has been a drum making staple for decades, and for good reason. Birch naturally emphasizes the high end just a bit, adds solid low end punch, and creates a tight, focused tone that really cuts through the mix. And these new full range snares capture all of that beautifully, and then take it up a notch. They're responsive and articulate at low volumes, but when it's time to dig in, they're right there with you. There's 5 birch models to choose from, and I have them all set up right here in this very cool drum setup, you have to admit. This is pretty cool. There's a 5x10, a 5.5x12, a 6x13, a 5x14, and a 6.5x14. And here's what they all share under the hood. The drums have an 8-ply birch shell, 30-degree bearing edges, 2.5mm triple-flanged hoops, chrome lugs with brass receiver nuts, tension rods with black nylon washers, our brand new full-range throw-off and butt plate, 20-strand manganese steel wires, Remo batter and resonant heads, plus the 10 and 12-inch snares include direct-to-shell mounts if you want to rack them up. All finished in a gorgeous, clear satin classic lacquer. They're clean, classy, and ready for any stage or studio. I do encourage you to stick around because after some more playing examples where you're going to hear each drum on its own, we'll take an up-close look at one of the drums where I take the head off, we'll look inside the drum so you can see the shell, and up close at the bearing edge, and of course, all of the hardware. So now that you've got all the specs, let's dive into the sounds. Now it's time for some fun, so let's hear these drums. The tuning for all of the snares is pretty general. I went to the middle level, that sort of middle range of what all of these drums can do. You can definitely go higher and lower with all of them, but right now, they're in that sort of middle state. Here they are with the snare wires off. What a great musical tone, and I gotta tell you, having all of the drums set up in this configuration where it's nothing but snare drums, you turn the snare wires off and you have this sort of melodic drum kit at your disposal. It's really cool. I could do that for hours. With the snare wires off on all of these drums, you can tell that they all have a beautiful musical note, but also a wonderful sustain. It's not too long, it's not too short, it's just right there in the middle, and it just sings. It's so musical. What's great about having all the different size options in these birch snares is that, of course, you could choose your main go-to snare, whether you pick one of the 14s or maybe even the 13 as your main snare. But if you already have a main snare drum that you use all the time, the 10 or the 12 could be perfect as your side snare. They have direct-to-shell mounts. They have that nice high-pitched crack that'll be totally different than your main go-to snare. Even the 13 could be a great side snare. When I play with my band, Big Big Train, I always have 2 snare drums set up, and it's super typical these days to have a drum kit with multiple snare drums. Maybe not 5 snare drums like I have here, but I'm digging this setup right now. I might have to do this more often. The triple-flanged hoops on these snares give you a great side stick sound, so turn over your stick to the butt end. Nice and cracking and loud. Kind of hard on the 10-inch, but you can still do it if you want. Another great thing about these Birch snare drums is that you could use them in any style of music. You did hear all of these drums within a little song at the top of the video. But now I think it's a great time to hear all of these snare drums again in a little song, because that's where snare drums shine. So I came up with a short, little Latin-inspired piece, and here it is now. All right, we've heard the drums with the snare wires off, with the snare wires on, and within some music, and I hope you like what you heard. Now it's time to take that up-close look at one of the drums, but before we do that, I want to quickly mention all of this other amazing gear I have around me here today so you know how I'm recording these drums and how I'm bringing the sound to your ears. I'm using 4 universal audio microphones, 2 SP1s, an SC1 as an overhead right in the center, and an SD1 as my kick drum mic. My hi-hats are from Sabian. They're 14-inch HHX complex mediums set on a remote hi-hat stand, and the jingles on top are from Orugo Percussion. I have this fantastic effect cymbal from GM Designs, a boutique cymbal company from down in Texas. It sounds really cool. That's a great piece. And down here from Schlagwork Percussion, I have the Backbeat Station. All of this gear is being sent to a Universal Audio Apollo interface, and then on into Pro Tools, and then on to your ears. All right, it's time for an up-close look at this snare drum. I've already pre-loosened all of the tension rods so I could take the head right off. And here we go. The inside of this birch drum shell is just gorgeous. Really lively, bright color. Just looks natural. It's beautiful. The bearing edges are super smooth to the touch, and you can tell that they were cut perfectly. Right here on my left is the brand new throw-off. Very easy to use, with the new butt plate right here on this side. This is also the perfect time with the head off of the drum to enjoy this beautiful satin lacquer finish. This drum will look great on any drum kit. On this particular 13-inch drum, there's 6 of the double-ended chrome lugs with the brass receivers. Right here, we can take a good look at the 20-strand manganese snare wires, along with the clear Remo resonant drum head. And that's about it. It's a simple but well thought out design, perfectly executed, and all of these drums are ready to make music with. And there you have it, Gretsch's full range Birch snare drums. Whether you're building your first setup or adding some fresh flavor to your snare lineup, these drums deliver. Versatile, responsive, and full of personality. They're a fantastic addition to the Gretsch family. You want to learn more? Head over to GretschDrums.com. If you got questions, drop them in the comments below. And if one of these Birch beauties caught your ear, stop by your favorite local or online Gretsch dealer to check them out for yourself. Thanks so much for hanging out. Cheers.